All right, so welcome here. So what we're going to do now is we are going to install another tools that we need. Okay, so we did install Android Studio, but now we're going to go to Configure Editor here in our Flutter IO. And we notice here we have different choices. So we've installed Android Studio, as I said before. And alternatively, we can also install IntelliJ. Okay, so what are we going to do? In this course, I'm going to use IntelliJ, but if you wish, you can also use VS Code, Visual Studio Code. So there's set up here. You can follow if you wish to do so. But I encourage you to follow exactly what I do if you're new to this. So let's click on IntelliJ IDEA Community here. This is the community version that we're going to be installing, which means it's free. So we like free when we're developing things, okay? So that's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and do that. But knowing also that to do that, we'll also have to go through the process of installing the Flutter and Dart plugins later. Okay, so let's click on install IntelliJ there. And here is the website. And of course, I'm just going to agree to that because we don't have other choice. And I'm going to go, there's Ultimate here, which it's not free. They give a free trial, but we need the community because that's what we want. Click on that and here we go. So you could add your email and all this stuff you want, but notice the moment you come here, you just go ahead and start installing, or at least downloading our zip file or DMG so we can start installing, okay? And it should be done now, and it is indeed. Again, you can select whatever you want there for emails and so forth. I'm going to just double click there and it will start unzip everything, and I'm going to drag the IntelliJ onto applications again. Copy everything into our applications folder, get out of that, and let's go to our applications folder. We should be able to see IntelliJ if all goes well. There it is. It's in the corner. So double click on that so we can start our setup. Of course, I'm going to just go and say open or abrir. It's in Portuguese again. I apologize, but the same thing. And here, because I had a previous one, IntelliJ installed. In this case, say I want to install the previous version, okay? Or we can say do not import settings. So in this case here, I'm just going to go ahead and say, so I'm going to say okay with previous version, so that I don't have to do all of that stuff. But in your case, obviously, you will just have to do the other one. So I'm going to just accept, as you can see there. And here, well, sure, maybe don't send anything. It's fine. Okay, so here we go. It is starting right now. And you can see I've had this before, and I've got all of other stuff. You won't have anything, obviously, if this is your first time, but don't worry, it's not a big deal. You won't be left behind here. I will explain everything. Okay, so you can create a new project, import, all sort of things. To the left, I have a lot of projects that I've created before. Too much. But since we are starting everything from scratch, right? What are we gonna do? We need to set things up. So I'm gonna go to configure. We need to install a few things. So plugins, that's what we need, because remember, we need to install again the plugins because this is what we're gonna be using. What plugins we're gonna install? Well, you shall see. Let's go to browser repositories and then let's look for Flutter again. There we go. Again, I have to get that dependency because we need to add the Dart dependency. Okay, and I'm gonna restart everything. So pretty much this exactly same thing that we saw previously with Android Studio. In fact, Android Studio is built on top of IntelliJ. That's why they look very similar. Okay, so we're back here. I'm gonna go ahead and say create new project. Notice the moment I do that, to the left, I now have the option to create a Flutter project and a Dart project. Very nice. And within Dart project, there's different kinds of projects I can create. And you look at Dart SDK, it's all installed and everything over there. But notice also, if by any case you ended up not seeing anything the moment you click Dart, as you can see here, it's simply you will have to point the path to where we added our Dart. It's very simple to find. If we go to our dev, go to our Flutter, go to inside of our bin, go to our cache. notice we should see where our Dart SDK is. So that means we have to follow, or we have to add this path right there. So this means now I have to go here, click there, and go to where to bin, right? Exactly, Flutter again, bin, cache, and then point it to our Dart SDK. That's all we have to do in case that you don't see it there. Okay, I do see it there, so I'm good. So I just wanted to show you. All right, so now that we have all of that set up for us, we should see the version, says 2.0, and a lot of numbers and things out there we're not interested in. And of course, we can generate different kind of sample content, right? In this case, we may just need a console application. We can go say next to create a Dart project. We can add a name here, okay? Doesn't matter what. And we can create our Dart project. And there we go. The moment you create a Dart project, then you have all of that. Very good. So you run it, it says hello 42. So we know for sure that everything is set up as intended. So we have the print hello, all of that great stuff. Very good. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and say new project here because we want to create a Flutter project to make sure everything is set up. Same thing here, you should have your Flutter SDK set up, and if not, just make sure you go follow the instructions we did it before. So now I'm going to go ahead and say project, click here and add a project name, and there is the project location, of course, and the organization, all that stuff. We're not interested in that. We just want to create a project to make sure that everything is good for us. So let's create it. And there we go. We have our project. Very good. Now notice things may look a little bit different on your machine than mine. In fact, because I have a different kind of theme on my thing here. So don't worry about that. Now let's just test things out because we already have an Android SDK built in there. Should be able to run the same application on our device. Now, because I had it open, this is an old device application running. So let's let it run a new one. It's installing, and there we go. And again, what's new? Very good. So at least we know now we've installed something into our IntelliJ, right? The plugins that allow us to create applications, which is wonderful. Again, I will have to repeat, this is the same as Android Studio. In fact, IntelliJ or Android Studio was built on top of IntelliJ. So this is great. So I'm going to be using this tool here. As I said previously, you can use whatever tool you want. And like I said, we have here our code. Everything is looking good. Let's go to preferences here. I'm going to show you how to actually add the theme that I'm talking about. It is indeed a plugin. We'll go to browse repositories again, and we're going to look for material theme. Look at that, and we should have it somewhere. Oh, there we go at the bottom, material theme. Click on that. And for me, because I already have it, it says update. But for you, it should say install. So if you want to install, you can do it. If you want it to look exactly like my screen, of course, the colors and everything. But if you don't want, it's fine, right? The code, it's not going to change, or the performance is not going to change. So for me here, since I'm here, I might as well update it. And for you, you're just going to say install and just follow the instructions, and you should have it all. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and update it. And restart everything. All right, so there we go. After updating, I have this now. So I'm gonna go ahead and start putting it all together, which is wonderful because now we can all do it together. Okay, next. And now looks like we have all sort of different kind of themes. Oh, wow, my goodness. I usually use the oceanic theme, but you can choose whatever you like. Look at that. So many options. So many options indeed. All right, oceanic it is for me. I'm going to next, and there is this contrast mode. I want a high contrast. In this case here, I think we're all good. I don't need to change anything here. I say other settings. I think I'm also doing great here. You can change, play around if you wish to do so. Finish. And there we go. I'm going to restart again. And voila. I have to go and change a few things. It looks really good. Very small. Of course, I'll have to change it so that you're able to see when I'm coding. But for you, you don't have to do anything else. I mean, this is it. It looks really nice. All right, so we are done installation here. We are ready to start building Flutter applications.